Welcome back to the Breaker Bros, and we're doing the instant reaction to the Bengals 34-24 victory over the Panthers. And what are your initial thoughts?
They tried to lose it. Good thing Carolina tried to lose it harder. I guess that's probably bad attitude, but they look pretty evenly matched, and nobody accused Carolina of being a good team at the beginning of the season. Just a couple more playmakers for the Bengals, but overall, they had the opportunity to salt the game away in the third quarter, and instead they chose to try to throw deep. Like that sequence at the end of the third quarter, it just makes me shake my head. It's just like, how can you be so stupid? You know?
Well,
They
that was kind of
play.
on a broken play. It looked like Mims may have given up the pressure a little bit, and it looked like when Burrow threw the ball, Chase was like crossing the field, and for whatever reason,
No. I'm saying there shouldn't have even have been that play because they snapped the ball too early on first down, and then they ran a play. They shouldn't have run a play at the end of the third quarter. They should have burned another 30 seconds at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And then Chase Brown, don't go out of bounds. It's just like stupid crap like that.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying.
It's just like you have a 3-score lead. It's a timed game. Just run clock. Like there aren't enough possessions left in the game for Carolina to win. Preserve your defense. It's just like you've got a badly injured defense, and you keep putting them out there because you don't hold the ball long enough. If you have a 3-score lead, you need to shorten the game, get out of town, try not to get people hurt. Well, what do? Well, our best defensive player's hurt now. It's just you can't let teams hang around. You can't burn through your defense like that. It's just,
well, they got the win. That's the main thing, and they still won 34-24, which is still a pretty good win. And
hey, I'm celebrating. As a win is rare, I'm drinking some Eagle Rare right now.
I thought overall, obviously, there's a lot of things they still need to work on, run defense. But I do think it will get better because it feels like BJ Hill will be back next week. And then I'm hoping McKinley Jackson will have his debut against the Ravens. But early on, it seemed like they went down the field. It felt like the Panthers they had a lot of third downs. Like they had to convert a lot of third downs, which they did. I feel like that's something the defense needs to work on too, is just not having all these third down conversions or even fourth down conversions. But overall,
third down conversions are easier when your run defense between the tackles is porous.
Well,
because
but
it's easy to
that's the
grab
thing.
those 5 yards.
Early on the game, on the Panthers' first drive, they tried to go for it on fourth down on the goal line, and they stopped them there, which was nice.
Tough. That was
and
tough.
then
when they're not like selling out against the run, they can't stop the run.
Yeah,
it's just not fundamental, right? They have to over leverage themselves, and they open themselves up to like big plays because they have to sell out to stop the run. They can't just do it straight up.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I guess a positive side on the Bengals.
Give me in a positive mindset. I'm sorry, you should have let me go first.
On the Bengals side, they had over 100 yards rushing. I think it was 141 total, which was nice.
Yeah.
And I think they ended the game with like 8 or 9 straight runs, which was kind of nice to see.
Which is what you need to do. But they should have doubled the number of carries they had in the first 2 or 3 drives of the fourth quarter. They should have been running it a lot more, and they should have been paying more attention to the clock in the third quarter because they snapped the ball on first down at the end of the third quarter with too much time on the clock. They should have waited till 4 seconds in the play clock, snapped it. They would have ran their play, quarter over, start over again in the fourth quarter.
And I would say the offense looks pretty good. It feels like this is the offense that we had. Was it 2021 when we went to the Super Bowl?
Okay, I could be positive. Eric All is a player. Like, he should be tight end number 1.
He might be. I noticed he's in there a lot more than some of the other tight ends, and he can disguise things really well because he blocks really good.
He's one hell of a run blocker. He just sprang so many plays.
Can I say something real quick?
On a run? Yeah.
Shout out to the Breaker Bros for always picking Eric Hall. I mean, that was like consensus, the one that we've seemed to pick a lot.
Yeah, in our mock drafts. Yeah.
But no, he's looking really good, and I kind of remember people were freaking out. Fourth round pick for Eric Hall. Like, I'm like, really? People are upset with this? Like, I thought even if he would have came in mid-season and say he's playing like the way he is now, that would have been like a big, boost. But the fact that he was able to start the year off like the way he has, looks pretty nice.
Great.
But
he's exactly what the offense needs.
But yeah, the offense had like a lot of explosive plays, whether it was like runs here and there and passing plays. That Jamar Chase touchdown was amazing.
Yeah, but I mean,
T, I felt like every time T got a catch was a first down.
That stuff is going to happen organically because you have elite game-breaking guys. What you need to focus on as an offense for the Bengals is just sustaining drives, because every chance Jamar Chase touches the ball, it's a chance for a touchdown. So you just need to keep drives going. I mean, my buddy was texting me during the game and said something I agree with. He was just like, they need to work on getting the ball to Chase more. I mean, he only had one touch. It was a touchdown. But, I mean,
No, I mean, like when he caught the ball, it was a touchdown or a first down.
Burn the plays. Any amount of practice time spent running plays for Drew Sample and Mike Gesicki, stop. Stop it. Stop scheming for it. Stop trying. Figure out another play for Chase. Figure out a play for Chase Brown. Like, I mean, it's just such a waste of time.
I feel like the last couple of games. I feel like the last couple of games they've kind of found an identity with the running, and I feel like when they have been running, it's been super efficient.
Right.
And I feel like they've kind of found a way to kind of mix it in with their passing plays and stuff like that. But kind of to what you were saying earlier, I felt like part of the flaw, because like the Bengals offense through the first 3.5 quarters was explosive, and it was almost like they were scoring too fast. And I was like, they kind of, to your point, should have like controlled the clock a little bit more. But that goes back to, there was just so many explosive plays. It was just like,
well, yeah, I mean, but once you have that lead, then you can start okay, we have the big lead. Let's salt away the game. But I just think, like what you were saying about Eric Hall, it's just because he can block and because he can catch, it's hard to predict what the play will be when he's in the game. That's why he should always be in the game. And then if you need to run it, bring in Drew Sample. And then if you need to throw it with 2 tight ends, then bring in Gesicki. But like, to the extent that they have like running specific plays for Gesicki and Drew Sample, I mean, they were like that. They ran that weird, like, I don't know if it's a screen or like whatever play for Sample. I can't remember if it lost yards or only got 1 yard. And then
no, it lost like
Gesicki,
7 yards.
I mean, if Chase Brown would have fallen down, he would have had the bonehead play of the game. Like, he got that catch for like -9 yards. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just like lack of effort. You can't let them push you back like that. I mean, those are losing plays, and they're lucky that they were able to come out with the win.
Yeah, no, it was a weird game because, it actually honestly felt very similar to Washington and even the Patriots game, where when the Bengals were, well, maybe not so much the Patriots game, but the last couple of games, it just felt like the offense was going and seemed pretty efficient, but it was just like the lack of being able to stop the run and those big plays on defense.
Yeah.
But in this game, it felt like, obviously Hendrickson had that big play where he tipped the pass or the ball when it was being thrown. Bill got that reception, took it all the way down to like the 15-yard line, and then the Bengals were able to convert. That was another thing. It felt like Bengals were converting more in the red zone, which was nice to see. Defenses have done a really good job against Chase, it feels like, in the red zone. Like, they're not giving him, it feels like he's getting doubled a lot, especially right in the end zone, which, makes sense. But
yeah, but I mean, if they keep running it in with Chase Brown like that, the defenses will have to respect the run, and they won't be able to, you know what I mean? It's like complementary, right? To me, the thing that always stands out is that teams that can run the ball efficiently tend to convert in the red zone. So if they keep up with, again, it's just Eric All is so key to this.
Yeah,
He gives them that blocking. They don't know if they're going to throw it or run
4
it.
catches for 28 yards, and I'm pretty sure 2 of those catches were for a first down that were pivotal.
I mean, it's just like they don't need like a game breaker at tight end. They need a guy that can get a couple first downs.
He's
and
perfect.
Can help with the run game. Yeah.
He's literally perfect because he blocks. That to me was like the shocking part, and the thing that no one was really ever talking about was how well he blocks.
He's
and
such a good run blocker.
And it was evident in preseason just watching him play, and then I feel like throughout the year, in terms of his receiving ability, he's going to get better because like he's coming back from a lower leg injury. So like I feel like
well, the thing I like
it hasn't been a full year, right, since he's been injured, or I guess this is about a year.
Yeah, maybe because I think he got hurt at the beginning of the college football season.
Yeah,
it's like week 5. So
so like from here on out, we should really see like that burst.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like the thing I like that they do with him is a lot of times when they have him lead block, they have him running in motion.
Yeah,
and it's just like that they're setting it up for some point in time where he just keeps going and they throw it to him, right?
Yeah.
It's like such a tell that they're going to run.
Yeah.
That somebody's they're going to be able to run something off of that.
And even that little motion thing, that caused, I felt like, a offsides on the defense at the end of the game.
That's true. Like at the end when Burrow got that 3rd and 4.
Yeah.
No, and that was the thing. They're talking. I know you don't listen to the broadcast, but they're talking about like the Bengals need to make the big play, and it's like for the Bengals, the big play is getting a guy to jump off sides on 3rd and 4 and getting first down. Because if they can sustain drives, guys like Chase and Higgins and Chase Brown are just going to make plays. They're just every chance you give them.
Well, on that last
hit the lottery,
that last drive, I think was a big thing for the offense morally, because it's like when I was watching the Panthers defense, like they were gassed, they were hurt, they were like
running the ball takes the gas out of the defense. I mean, we've felt it watching our team just get decimated by teams just running it constantly. Mm-hmm. And if you run it 30 times in a game, it just takes the air out of the defense. It's harder for them to pass rush. And guys get hurt.
That's why the guy jumps off sides, because it's like they're out of it mentally because they know they're getting beat at the line.
Yeah,
and it was just
getting
like
beat physically, so you try to cheat, right? And then you get out of position. I mean, that's why. I mean, running, it's just like boxing, right? Running is like the body blows, and then it sets up the knockout punch. But if you're just like someone who constantly is swinging haymakers, you're going to get knocked out yourself. You got to be able to set it up. And
I did like to see, or I did notice that they are using some of the younger guys a little bit more, which was pretty nice. And a big shout out to Dejon Anthony. That to me was a pretty big play where they went for it on that punt fake, and I think he shows why they put him in those type of situations, because for me, he looks like he's a pretty good coverage safety. Like he can cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, I mean, and like Geno Stone.
I actually think
he's not looking good, and like with the eye test, he's not looking good.
No, he looks slow. Like
I mean, it's just like maybe you give Anthony some more snaps to see what he can do. Like,
well, I think you have to find someone, and I kind of noticed that. I don't know if Cam Taylor-Britt was hurt, where he's like has something going on, but I noticed they kind of switched him out after he got beat deep, and then I feel like they put in Turner. Which makes sense, because I feel like that's kind of Cam Taylor-Britt's flaw, is that he's not the fastest corner out there. So they can kind of scheme it up where if he's one-on-one and the defense is playing a little lax, I feel like he's gotten beat deep several weeks in a row. I don't know if it's at least been 2 weeks in a row, and I feel like it's almost been 3 weeks in a row. So it was nice to see that some of those other younger guys were playing, so I thought that was pretty cool. Did you have any other thoughts about this game, or
just a general question?
Sure.
See what you're thinking, since it's on my mind. Like, do you think the Bengals should make a trade? I feel like they need to just get somebody to plug in there. It's just
I
like
think
the defensive line is just in such shambles.
depending
need
on
to
how
get
this
just an average
Ravens game
dude.
goes, I think they might
Yeah.
consider a trade. But I think also too they're just waiting for people to get healthy. And
Yeah.
oh,
but
and
I mean,
Jenkins made that big play on that fourth
He
down.
did.
So
Yeah,
like
he did.
he's making splash plays here and there, and
Yeah, he tipped the pass. I mean, he's playing good.
yeah, and I know they're like it seems like they're easing him in because he is technically coming back from an injury with his hand, but I think they're just waiting on their guys really just to get healthy. And again, McKinley Jackson, I'm so excited to see him play because I think he will make a difference.
But I mean, it's just like if they could just get like one like frontline rotational type defensive tackle to kind of plug in there and take some snaps to kind of let everybody get healthy and catch up. I just feel like that would do like a world of difference with their defense.
Yeah, no, I would be down for it if there was a trading partner, and it would have to be. I would assume if they're gonna give up decent capital, it would have to be someone young, and they would still have to have a few years left on their deal in order for it to happen. Because they normally don't trade for people that are like, well, I guess they did the BJ Hill trade.
Yeah.
So I guess, I mean, I think that's technically on the table. I think a lot is gonna depend on what happens in the Ravens game, and I feel like BJ Hill is gonna play because I saw him warming up during this game. I know he was pretty or he was listed as doubtful, and it doesn't. Rankins was out for sure, so I don't see him making it next game. But I feel like BJ Hill will be back.
Well, you would think that Rankins
and then hopefully
come back soon
and Jackson.
because he's been. They've both been out. What like?
This would be their second game.
This would be their second game.
Yeah, because they got hurt in the second week.
Yeah, but IR is like what 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So you would think that they're expecting them to be back next week, right?
Well, within 4 or less weeks.
Yeah, that would be next week, right?
No, because next week would be 3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay.
Week 3, yeah. Because they got hurt in week 2, like mid-game. So they didn't play at all last week. Not at all this week. So that would only be 2 games. Because I feel like Rankins will be back on the 4th week. And then BJ Hill's going to be back on the 3rd week. And then I'm hoping like hell that McKinley Jackson's going to be back next week too. Because I think he'll make a big difference. I really do.
I liked him. I like him as much as you do, but I just it's a lot to put on a rookie coming off of IR, you know.
Well, it's like if you watch these games, it's like the defense makes the other offense work for it, but they always seem to let them convert though. That's the problem, and that's over a period of time.
So many yards on first down, they just run it up the gut for 5 yards, and then they're trying to stop them on 3rd and 4. It's just, I mean, it's like the most basic NFL statistic, right? If you're 3rd and 4, the conversion rate is way higher than if you're 3rd and 6. It's just like those 2 yards are consistently being able to run it up the middle for like 5-6 yards a chunk. It just completely changes 3rd down conversion rate.
Just trying to look at their next couple of games. So yeah, we play the Ravens, Giants, Browns, Eagles. Eagles, I think, lost big against the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
A lot of teams got into the 30s, I feel like, this week. Bengals, that's 2 weeks in a row. I mean, offense looks good. It's just the defensive line specifically is where they're going to have to figure out how to get better.
It's so frustrating because it was a problem last year, and like you want to say they didn't address it, but they did address it. You know, they drafted guys, but
they got hurt too. You gotta literally all the people that we expected was going to do something got hurt.
I know,
like
it's just
our 2 starting defensive tackles got hurt,
right.
and then the 2 people that were going to back up and like fill in those roles, those specific roles, got hurt. And then Jenkins is starting to play now, and he's starting to make these plays. So there's good signs. But yeah, no, I mean, next week will be the real test where you know, unless the Ravens do something kind of dumb because they know like the big advantage is the run game for them, and the Bengals are going to really emphasize more than any other week about stopping the run, especially up the middle, is going to be against the Ravens. So with that in mind, hopefully they do something silly where they try to develop a passing game because they know that we're going to invest a lot of resources in stopping the run. Like that to me would be something that they may overthink. But I don't know. I also have a weird confidence going into that game because I know it means a lot to the Bengals, especially to Burrow. I think it means a lot for him to actually have a winning record against the division. And with such a crappy last year divisional record, I think. And really, that's what they got to focus on is having a winning record, at the very least, going 4-2 in the division. And if somehow they can go 6-0 in the division, that's really, if they want to have a shot of actually winning the division, that's what they got to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they have a winning record
I'd be
in the
happy
division,
with 3-3 in the division.
But I'm thinking if they go 4-2 in the division or better, or 5-1, 6-0, then they should have a really good shot of making the playoffs through the wild card. So, but yeah, if you go undefeated in the division, then they should have a real good shot of winning the division. Looks like the Steelers lost today, which was good. So they're now 3-1. And then I guess Ravens don't play until Sunday night, and I think the Browns are playing right now. But really looking forward to next week because if somehow they can find the way to win and stop the run enough, being 2-3, 1-0 in the division would be really good, especially starting out 0-3. So this is the time to start stacking wins. Yep. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add to this game. I think it's nice that we finally get a win in the win column.
I'm trying to get happy.
Get happy, man. Wasn't perfect, but a lot of good things came out of this game. Yep. All right. Well, I guess we'll have to call it a day. We'll see everyone, I guess, Friday for our prediction. Peace.